baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old and think of all the stories that we could have told.
The European Union, EU, is a unique collaboration that emerged after the Second World War. The Union had one main goal: prevent the European states to go to war against each other again. Today, there are 27 member states who currently represent the European Union. These member states work together for the benefit of all their citizens. It was Belgium, France, West Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands who started it all in 1958. The UK, Ireland, and Denmark joined in 1973, and since then 18 other countries have become members as well. EU's headquarters is located in Brussels in Belgium. In addition, parts of the EU bureaucracy is located in Strasbourg, France, and Luxembourg. The EU in itself is one of the largest and most important institutions in the world. In addition, the Union consists of 7 internal institutions: the European Parliament, the European Council and the Council of the European Union, the European Commission, the European Court of Justice, the European Central Bank, and the Court of the Auditors. Now that you hopefully have gained an insight into what the EU is, I'm going to talk about Norway's relationship to the European Union. Norway has been a member of the European Fair Trade Organization since 1960, but is among few countries in the Central and Western Europe who have chosen to remain outside the European Union. A majority of the Norwegian people said no to the European Union in referendums both in 1972 and 1994. Even though Norway is not a member of the Union, Norway has a close cooperation with the EU. What happens in Europe is important for Norway because Norway is a part of the continent, not only geographically, but also historically, culturally, and economically. EU is Norway's main trading partner, and EU's policies affect Norway's society. The Norwegian government therefore wants Norway to contribute to a proactive European policy. The close relationship between Norway and the European Union is illustrated by the fact that approximately 80% of Norway's total exports goes to the EU, and approximately 70% of Norway's imports come from the EU. The most important agreement between Norway and the EU is the EEA agreement. This agreement was signed by the EU and the EFTA in 1992 with the aim of creating a unified common market and thus a European economic area. Through the EEA agreement, Norway has undertaken to implementing EU legislation, which is of importance of the internal market. Whether Norway should join the European Union or not is much discussed. But the big question is, would Norway deteriorate or improve by becoming a full member of the European Union? The biggest reasons why some believe that Norway should join the European Union is that Norway would have more influence on decisions decided by the EU. Countries in Europe have many common challenges which could easier be solved with better cooperation. The defense and security policy that EU has would also strengthen security and reduce the danger of an armed conflict and humanitarian disasters. In addition, there would also be duty-free between member states, which again would lead to cheaper food and alcohol. But the majority of the Norwegian people will despite this not join the European Union. Some reasons is that Norwegians want to keep their own democracy and also have the ability to manage the everyday life themselves. If Norway had joined the European Union, there would be some consequences. Norway would no longer have their own constitution, and EU's laws and regulations would be applicable. With so many member states, the Union could fast have turned into a strong superpower. With a full membership, EU would have jurisdiction over many resources like fish stocks in Norway. Due to the international shortage of fish, it would lead to overfishing. In addition, Norway would lose big money due to cheaper gas in Europe. Since the European Union don't take into account that the natural resources varies between the EU countries, the farmers would have been most affected by a full membership. To conclude, I believe Norway would deteriorate by a full membership of the EU. With the EEA agreement and the close cooperation with the EU, I don't think a full membership would be necessary or profitable. Although Norway could improve in some areas by joining the Union, I believe that the membership would deteriorate Norway.
One day, baby, we'll be old.